Okie dokie, I'm just going to do a quick video here, hence I've got a towel up because I'm wearing a work shirt. So I've learned last time about doing that, so some people get a bit funny with you doing these sort of videos with a work shirt on, so just wearing a towel to cover that up. So I have signed up to a couple of new gyms. And I'm going to be quite honest, primarily because I got kicked from the gym I was attending. And I'm going to pull no bones about it. I will be honest and say, yep, I went and talked to people. People came up and talked to me. Alright, a gym is basically a social place. It's a place where everybody goes to work, and you know what? I go in and I train hard and I get on with things, and you know, I may take a couple of moments out, may talk with people. You know, I like to get to know people, you know, for a little while, and people come up and talk to me. I'm going to talk a little bit about being true to yourself, because to be quite honest with you, in this day and age, we're filled with absolute idiots who seem to have one rule for them, and they can do whatever they want. But as soon as you go and do exactly the same thing, oh goodness me, talk about victimhood. Oh, he talked to me. Oh, I want to complain. Oh, he came up and talked. You know what? I get people coming up and talking to me all the time in the gym, and quite frankly, it doesn't bother me, because quite frankly, you know, I'm quite happy to talk. I'm quite happy to talk. I'm quite happy to encourage people and to you know, share a few thoughts with people. If someone asks me for a spot or something, I'm quite happy to do that. The other reason why I got kicked from the gym was because, and I'm going to be quite honest, I have a disability. I have nerve cluster damage in my mid back, and I asked for some help with a spot. I asked for help with a spot, and what I needed was a member of staff just to put the fingers in the middle of my back to see if my back was actually contracting the way I need to. Now, the reason why I couldn't feel it is because recently I've actually started squatting, and I get, when I start squatting, and it's not as bad as it used to be actually, so I'm quite lucky. It's actually easing off now. But when I used to squat, I used to get a fuzzy sensation going down my back and into my arms because of the pressure that was being put in mid-back. Now, it's nothing to do with my technique or anything, it's just because the weight of pressure on my back at that particular point would affect me, and it still does a little bit, especially with back training. So I needed someone to physically go, yep, that's activating properly. And the person who was well, if it had turned around and said to me, I'm not working, that's fine. Now, what's the point of me telling this story? Well, the point of me telling this story is this, is that I do have a belief to get through this life. Number one is a quote from Roadhouse. If you've never seen the film, watch the film Roadhouse. And so whatever you do, however you are, be nice about it. Be firm, be authoritative, but be nice. And I generally do try to practice that. I generally try to be nice towards people and basically try and treat them with dignity and respect. However, when you encounter someone being disrespectful the way this particular person was, I don't believe you should put up with it. I think you should, quite honestly, open up and say, actually, you know what, it's not acceptable, that was disgraceful, the way you acted to me, the way you acted towards me, No, I'm not going to I'm not going to put up with it. And I think you should actually, state that, which is what I did. Especially if you're a manager of a gym, if you actually get a complaint, you should certainly not turn around to the person who's giving the complaint, oh, go and have a word with them yourself. And certainly if you work at a gym, you should make sure that you should actually go around and actually make sure things are in order, and actually make sure that things are put in order, not swan around like you own the place. So I will turn around and say, you know what, I am owed an apology. However, I am owed apologies from there. Do I regret? Do I regret having my account suspended? No, not really. Maybe a big gym may have lots of equipment, yada yada yada. Don't regret being kicked from there, because at the end of the day, I have actually got 2 gym memberships that quite honestly comes to about the same price, and a couple of gyms I've actually met people who I do know, and I've been able to actually talk with and actually get on well with and get on with things. One of the gyms I went to, one of the managers of the other gym, when I told the story, she absolutely agreed with me and said it was absolutely disgraceful, and she shared a similar experience with her coming back from a serious injury. So my point is this, is that in this day and age, and I very much march to the beat of my own drum. I don't have any sort of preconceived idea about anybody who I meet. I treat everybody with that dignity and respect that everybody should receive as a human being. Don't necessarily agree with their beliefs, don't necessarily agree with some of the situations. However, what I will not do is wear the vest of other people's victimhood. I won't do it. I won't stand by and let other people cast their insecurities onto me. And I don't think any of us should. And I think it's about time that a lot of us should actually stand up and actually say, you know what, no, it's not acceptable anymore. It's not acceptable to blame other people for your own shortcomings. So I'm looking forward to training. I'm looking forward to training within these 2 new gyms. I've never had this situation before, and I will say I'm actually quite angry and quite upset about it. But I'm not fazed. It's not going to change how I do things and what I do and how I move towards my own goals, because at the end of the day I can still train, I can still do things, albeit I have to travel a little further to do things, but hey, such is life. Don't ever compromise on who you are as a person. Don't let people do the one rule for you, one rule for me. That is pure hypocrisy. And no matter how good a place may be, no matter how good the equipment may be, if you're surrounded by that, cut yourself out of it. Bring yourself out of it. Because it's not going to do you any good. It's not going to do you any good to be poisoned by that sort of mentality. Place yourself in a place where you're actually going to succeed as a person, and surround yourself with like-minded people, which luckily I actually have been able to do. So there you go. What I do intend to do, the one thing I do intend to do to actually get towards my goals a little bit more is, once I'm back from the US, I plan to actually pay off a year's membership So then I'd have to worry about monthly, but that's another story. To round things up, the key to really success isn't even happiness. I'm going to go through a few things and recap. Number one, don't compromise who you are. Don't bring yourself down to other people's level, because to be quite honest with you, it's ridiculous and I refuse to do it. Number two, don't ever let anybody place on you the vest of their victimhood. Make them accountable for their own insecurities. You're not accountable for their insecurities. You're accountable for yourself. And number three, live life by your own rules. Don't ever break. If you are going to break your own rules, think very, very hard before you do. That's what rules are there for, is to make you think before you break them, make you think about the consequences of those things, and stick to your guns no matter what. Because ultimately you will build an integrity, and people will know you're true to your word. And that brings the most vital thing in life, right? And that is peace of self. And peace is the best, because basically peace means that you know you're going round and you're doing what you should be doing in life, and that is the best thing you can ever have. So whilst yes, I may be upset at what has happened, I'm not upset with myself. And to be quite honest with you, as I've gone about doing what I need to do and finding a new place to go and train, I'm quite peaceful in the fact that I will achieve my own goals, just in a different place. And as I go through my life, and as it's been going through my daily life so far, I've been able to function and do what I need to do and be confident in where I'm going. So peace is the best. Always keep that inner peace for you and to keep moving forwards. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying, oh, hey, look at me, how wonderful I am. I'm just saying just what I've learned over the past couple of days. Have a great day.